Hi, this is Tasha. Today's date is April 9th, 2018. I want to just tell two inspirational stories. They're inspirational because they happened to me. And years ago to show that there are good people in the world. Everybody is not horrible and wicked and corrupt and things like that. So here goes. 11 years ago, I was living in a shelter. When I entered into the shelter, I was about 2 or 3 weeks shy of giving birth to my son. I was lonely, I was scared. My mom had just passed away a few months prior. So I'm about to have a baby. I have no mom to help guide me. Just really was alone, just me and my son. And it was a struggle. It really was a struggle. And there are many times I really wanted to just give up on life and just give up. That's just keeping it 100. So fast forward, my son was about 6 months old. And I just started a new job. Only thing I had left was I had a Metro card. I'm here in New York City. So I had a Metro card so I can get back and forth to work. Something had happened with like my cash or something. I was receiving public assistance at the time. So I knew that once I started receiving a payment, I would not receive the cash anymore. So anyway, my son had about 7 or 8 diapers left. And I was asking myself, like, where am I going to get diapers? So I'm calling people, I'm not waiting to the last minute. I knew I didn't have a whole lot of money and I wanted to get my son some diapers. And I could not get in contact with anybody. Like, I just could not get in contact with anyone. So I said, well, I'm going to have to do something that I do not want to do. I'm going to have to go into the supermarket and I'm going to have to steal me a bag of Pampers and pray that I do not get caught. That's the only solution I had in my mind at the time. So I put my baby into the stroller. It was nice outside, summertime. Went inside of the supermarket about a block or two away from the shelter. I went into the aisle. I grabbed a pack of diapers. I put it in the bottom of the stroller. You know how those strollers have like their big compartment underneath the seat? And I had like a little thin baby blanket and I covered up the Pampers. And I proceeded to walk out of the supermarket. No one suspected anything. The security guard did not approach me. Nothing happened. I walked out of the store. So when I get outside, I said to myself, I can't do this. I said, this is not me. I don't do this. I cannot go back and, I can't go back to the shelter with a pack of stolen diapers. So I turned around, I went back inside of the supermarket and I took the diapers and put them back on the shelf. Now some people will be like, well, if nobody said nothing to you, you could have went back, you could have got away with that and that would have been fine. Yeah, it probably would have been fine, but my conscience was really tearing at me after I left the supermarket. So anyway, I came back outside of the supermarket after putting the diapers back and I just stood in front of the supermarket and I just began to cry. Like I just began to cry because I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to have money to buy these diapers for my baby. So I'm crying. So I'm wiping my face and my hand. I'm embarrassed. I don't really want nobody to see me cry, but the tears just began to fall. So out of nowhere, I heard a woman's voice and she said, baby, you are going to be just fine. So I looked up, and there was a little itty bitty, beautiful, dark skinned woman with a beautiful white sundress on. I'll never forget that. She had on all white. And she said it again. She said, "Baby, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay." So she began to talk to me. She told me her story about how she was in the same shelter that I was currently living in at the time. She said she was there about 15 years prior. And she said she had 4 babies. She had 4 children that she had to raise. And she had just gotten clean from being on drugs, and she had got her children back. I think something to that effect. And she just basically told me how God turned her life around. Her children were grown. She had been blessed with a really good job. She said she's driving. She has her own car. She has a beautiful, apartment. And she was just saying, if I could do it, if she could do it, then I could do it too. So she had grabbed my hand, and she had placed money in my hand. Now, I didn't, pay attention to how much money it was. I don't know if it was $5, $20, or whatever. And she just kept on talking to me and encouraging me to do right, to live right, to take care of my son. Just like, like a big sister or like a mother would talk to a younger woman. That's basically how she was talking to me. And she was like, "Well, if I never ever see you again in life, I love you." She said, "Know that I love you and God loves you best." And I told her, "Thank you." We hugged, and she walked away. And, I still was crying, just trying to basically get myself together. I'm wiping my face. My baby, he's whining because he probably like, "Well, why are we still standing here?" And I looked down. I took the bill out of my hand, and I opened up the bill, and she had placed $50 in my hand. And I was so grateful for that. So not only I had enough to buy a box of Pampers, I had a little change left over, to get me by until I got paid that Thursday or Friday. So it goes to show you, like the old people say, he may not come when you want him to, but he's always on time. And I really believe that. Like, I have so many stories of things like that happening to me. It's not always about money, but I've prayed for certain things, and it happened. It came to pass. So I was just, really grateful for that, because if I didn't go back into the store and put the Pampers away, I wouldn't have gotten blessed with that $50. I mean, I would have had Pampers for my son, but I wouldn't have had any money. So that's one story. The next story is, I was on the train about maybe 4 or 5 years ago, with my husband, my son, and myself. We were on a train coming home from somewhere, and we had like a whole bunch of bags. We were out all day, and we were really exhausted. So, excuse me, I am so sorry. So, we were just like kind of dozing off. So there was an older couple sitting across from me, and she was looking at me, smiling. I smiled back. I didn't feel like any creepy vibes from this lady or anything like that. So I smiled, and she was looking at my husband and my son, and she just was smiling and things like that. Like, it was really sweet. So at 42nd Street, the lady was getting ready to get off the train. So she ran over to me. She placed money in my hand and a beautiful scarf. I was trying to find the scarf to wear over my head, but I could not find it. But if you want to see the scarf, you can watch my video, being a former home health aide. That's the scarf that the woman gave me. And a lot of times when I wear that head wrap on my head, because I use it as a head wrap, people tell me how pretty it is. And I usually tell them the story of how I got this head wrap. And they were like, wow, like, you know. So anyway, when she got off the train, I looked in my hand. She put two $20 bills in my hand. She put $40 in my hand. And so I woke up. My husband was like, baby, like, look, like, this lady gave me $40. He was like, what? And I was like, yeah, I did thank her before she got off the train. I do have manners. And I was so grateful, like, and I needed that $40. Like, who doesn't need extra $40 or extra $50 sometimes to pay a bill, or, have money for lunch for the next week or two, or, whatever. Like, who doesn't need an extra $40? And I'm just grateful for the little things. I'm not rich. I have a lot of health issues going on in my body, and I'm grateful for any little blessing that I can receive, whether it's money or just somebody giving me an encouraging word or a phone call. Like, I am grateful for that, and I try my best to extend myself to other people in that form and fashion as well. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please subscribe. Please like. You can comment and share. And until next time, this is Tasha. Take care and be blessed. Thank you.